The brutal reality is that most people are already dead. Not physically, but mentally, spiritually, energetically. They've flatlined. They don't chase anything. They don't burn with desire. They've been sedated by comfort and distraction. They wake up with no purpose, drag themselves through the day, waste time on things that don't matter, and then wonder why they feel empty. They don't realize they've been dying in slow motion, one wasted day at a time, one ignored opportunity at a time, one excuse after another. You think you're alive just because you're breathing. That doesn't mean you're living. The world is full of people who breathe but don't live. Their dreams are buried beneath fear. Their potential is buried beneath laziness. Their ambition is buried beneath addiction, to comfort, to ease, to instant gratification. They've traded speed for safety. And safety is the slowest death of all. You have to understand something fundamental about life. It does not care about your feelings. It doesn't care how hard your past was. It doesn't care that you're tired. It doesn't care about your excuses. The only thing life respects is action. Relentless, fast, and fearless action. You either move or you get moved. You either build your life or someone else will build theirs on top of you. There's no neutral ground. There's no someday. There's only now and the consequences of what you do with it. How many times have you said, "I'll start tomorrow"? How many goals have you put on hold because you were waiting for the right time? And let me guess, you're still waiting, still convincing yourself that you need more information, more clarity, more confidence. You don't need any of that. What you need is urgency, because life doesn't wait. Opportunities don't sit around forever waiting for you to feel brave. You hesitate, you lose. That's the rule. Let me make it clearer. Every second you waste overthinking is a second someone else is using to act. While you're watching another video, scrolling another feed, someone else is building the business, getting in shape, mastering the skill, closing the deal. They're not smarter than you. They're not more talented. They're just faster. They've understood the truth. Speed beats everything. Speed beats fear. Speed beats doubt. Speed beats perfection. And speed beats slow death. You've been lied to by society. They told you to be careful, to take your time, to be safe. They trained you to wait. Wait for permission. Wait for motivation. Wait until it feels right. That advice is designed to make you weak. That advice is for average people who will live average lives. If you want to win, you have to reject that. You have to rewire your brain for fast execution. You have to kill hesitation at the root. You want to know why you're stuck, why you're not moving forward. It's not because you're not capable. It's because you hesitate. You hesitate when you should act. You doubt when you should commit. You analyze when you should be executing. Your own brain is sabotaging you, convincing you to delay until it's too late. Every time you say, "I'll start next week," you're digging your own grave, and here's the part most people never understand. There is no such thing as the perfect moment. That's the biggest scam of all. Waiting for the perfect time is like waiting for a train that's never coming. You either jump on the tracks and start walking, or you stay stuck at the station watching life pass you by. People say, "But I'm not ready." Who the hell is ready? Nobody starts ready. Readiness is a product of motion. You get ready by doing, by throwing yourself into the fire, by adapting under pressure. The winners in life, the ones you admire, the ones you envy, they are not the ones who sat around planning for 5 years. They're the ones who acted, who failed, who recalibrated, who moved again. That's the secret: constant motion, ruthless speed, forward momentum no matter what. They act fast, and they figure it out as they go. They don't need the full map to start the journey. They trust themselves to handle the terrain. Every day you're faced with choices, small ones, big ones, and every time you choose the path of least resistance, you lose a little bit of your edge. Every time you choose to postpone, you reinforce weakness. You train your brain to stay small. You teach yourself that it's okay to sit idle, but the reverse is also true. Every time you act, even when it's uncomfortable, even when you're unsure, you strengthen your will. You build momentum. You get one step closer to becoming who you were meant to be. You're not losing because you're a loser. You're losing because you're slow. You're too slow to decide, too slow to execute, too slow to adapt. And in a world that rewards speed, that's fatal. You can't afford to wait for perfect. You need to move now, start now, build now, because if you don't, you'll spend your life watching others live out the dream you were too slow to chase. You ever wonder why the people with less talent than you end up winning? It's because they didn't hesitate. They didn't overthink. They didn't drown in analysis. They moved. They acted. They took the swing. And even if they missed, they learned, and they swung again. That's how they got ahead. While you were perfecting your plan, they were perfecting their execution, and let's not pretend you don't feel it. You do, that ache inside you, that restlessness. It's your potential screaming at you. It's your soul telling you, move, do something, start now. But you silence it. You numb it with distractions. You scroll, you snack, you sleep. Anything to avoid the uncomfortable truth that you're wasting time. And time is the one thing you can't get back. You think you'll feel more ready next month, next year. No, you'll feel older. You'll feel more regret. You'll have more doubt. You'll look back and hate yourself for not starting sooner. That's the price of hesitation, regret, and it compounds. You'll start stacking years of lost momentum. Years you could have been growing. Years you could have been building an empire. Instead, you'll have excuses and what-ifs. What you need is a new standard, one where speed is sacred, one where decisions are made fast and action follows immediately, where you stop tolerating the lazy, slow version of yourself, the version that always finds reasons to wait, the version that chooses comfort over growth. That version has to die today, right now, because the only way you'll ever build a life worth living is by becoming the kind of person who acts before fear has time to speak. Start with something small. Make a decision right now, not tomorrow. Now, move fast. Pick one thing you've been putting off and attack it. Watch how your energy shifts. Watch how the fear fades. That's momentum. That's the drug you've been missing. It's not motivation you need, it's movement. And movement creates motivation, not the other way around. Speed also creates identity. Every time you act fast, you're sending a message to yourself. I'm the kind of person who moves. I'm the kind of person who doesn't hesitate. And that identity starts to take root. Soon, hesitation feels wrong. Delay feels foreign. You'll rewire your brain to move with urgency and power. That's when life starts shifting. That's when opportunities start showing up. Not because they weren't there before, but because now you're actually in motion to grab them. The goal is not to be fearless. That's a fantasy. The goal is to move despite fear, to act fast even when you're not sure, because fear never goes away, but it can't survive speed. The faster you move, the less time fear has to paralyze you. You override it with action, with motion, with relentless forward pressure. There is no magic secret, no perfect formula, no ideal moment. There's just now and what you do with it. Most people will die with potential still inside them, not because they weren't good enough, but because they were too slow to use it. Don't be one of them. Don't spend your life thinking, spend it doing. Acting, moving, creating, winning. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need a perfect plan. You need to act fast, decisively, unapologetically, because that's how you rise. That's how you conquer. That's how you avoid the slow, invisible death of mediocrity that's consuming most people. You have one life, one shot, and the clock is ticking. Move, the clock doesn't stop ticking. Every second you hesitate, someone else is out there working, thinking faster, moving quicker, stacking wins while you're stuck in your feelings. You've been told to slow down, to be careful, to think twice. But let me ask you this, how's that working out for you? Are you closer to what you want? Or are you still in the same place you were last year, still trying to figure it out? Still telling yourself you're waiting for the right moment? What most people fail to understand is that life is a speed game. It's a war of momentum. Whoever builds it faster wins, and you don't build momentum by sitting still. You don't get ahead by playing it safe. You get ahead by running toward the things that scare you. You get ahead by treating time like a loaded gun pointed at your head, because that's exactly what it is. Time will execute your dreams if you don't act fast enough to bring them to life. People say patience is a virtue. Sure, in some things, but patience without execution is just cowardice dressed up as wisdom. They say good things come to those who wait. No, good things come to those who move while everyone else waits. The real winners in life are not the ones who plan the most. They're the ones who refuse to stand still. Every empire was built by someone who didn't wait for permission. The truth is you're afraid. You're afraid to fail, you're afraid to start, you're afraid of what people will say, so you mask that fear with fake logic, you tell yourself you're being smart, you tell yourself you're waiting for more information, but deep down you know it's fear. And fear is not something you negotiate with, it's something you dominate. You put it in a chokehold by acting before it even finishes its sentence. You keep looking for guarantees, but there are none. No one can promise you success, but here's what I can promise you. If you keep waiting, you'll lose. If you keep playing it safe, you'll stay broke, uninspired, and invisible. That's the cost of hesitation. That's the tax you pay for being slow. Every second you pause to think too long, life moves on without you. It doesn't care if you're ready. It doesn't pause the game so you can catch up. It keeps going. And it rewards the players who jump in. You can't afford to be timid. You can't afford to tiptoe through life like you're walking on glass. You've got to move with force, with aggression, with urgency. That's how you command attention. That's how you earn respect. The world doesn't respect the cautious. It respects the bold. You either grab what you want with both hands or you watch someone else do it while you're still debating. You need to start treating your time like it matters. Every minute is currency. Are you spending it or are you burning it? Every hour is an opportunity. Are you seizing it or are you letting it slip? Look around, look at the people who are winning. They're not coasting. They're not thinking small. They're not wasting energy on meaningless things. They're dialed in, focused, obsessed, and fast. Because they know the window is small and the stakes are high. You've got an idea, execute it. You've got a vision, build it. Stop talking, stop planning, stop imagining, and start moving, because motion beats meditation every time. Most people use thinking as a way to avoid doing. They stay stuck in a cycle of endless preparation. They research, they read, they get ready. But the only way to truly be ready is to start, to take the hit, to feel the pressure, to push through anyway. Speed is a weapon. It gives you a massive edge. While others are still thinking, you're already executing. While they're wondering what if, you're already learning from what happened. You're gaining experience. Gaining feedback, gaining ground. It's not about being perfect, it's about being in motion. The fastest learner always wins, and you can't learn if you don't act. Every failure teaches you something. Every move forward sharpens your instincts. But if you sit still, you rot. This isn't just about business or money. It's about how you live, how you think, how you carry yourself. A fast mind doesn't dwell on problems. It finds solutions. A fast body doesn't delay workouts. It gets up and moves. A fast spirit doesn't wait for motivation. It creates it through action. You've got to move like your future depends on it, because it does. You've got to live like you're being hunted, because you are. Hunted by mediocrity, by comfort, by the version of you that never made it. Every day you're given the same choice: act or stall, build or decay, rise or rot. There is no in between. If you're not getting stronger, you're getting weaker. If you're not moving forward, you're falling behind. The world is too fast, too competitive, too brutal to tolerate your delays. You've got to outpace it. You've got to be quicker than your fear, faster than your doubt, louder than your excuses. When your instincts tell you to go, listen. When the window of opportunity opens, jump. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for applause. Don't wait until you feel good enough. That day may never come. You become good enough by doing, by moving, by failing and adjusting and striking again. You don't need confidence to act. Action creates confidence. You don't need clarity to begin. Beginning creates clarity. You just need to move. The problem is people want guarantees. They want to be sure it's going to work before they start. But that's not how the game works. There are no promises. There's only the risk of action and the certainty of regret. Which one are you willing to live with? Because those are your only options. Take the shot or die wondering. Make the move or live in the shadow of your fear. Fast action isn't reckless. It's powerful. It doesn't mean being foolish. It means being decisive. It means trusting your gut. It means recognizing that the cost of inaction is always higher than the cost of a mistake. Mistakes can be fixed. Inaction can't. Regret is forever. You don't want to look back 10 years from now and realize you could have built something amazing, but you were too slow to start. Time is not your friend. It's your enemy if you don't control it. Every day you waste is a day you won't get back. Every opportunity you miss goes to someone else who is willing to act. The window will not stay open for you. You either jump or you stay stuck. You either evolve or you decay. That's the law, and it's not going to change because you're scared. You've got to adopt a new identity, one of power, one of speed, one of execution. No more delay, no more doubt, no more waiting for someone to save you. No one's coming. You are the rescue. You are the savior. You are the one who must pull yourself out of the mess you've been tolerating and sprint toward the life you were meant for. You've got to become addicted to movement. Addicted to results, addicted to building. The second you get an idea, execute. The second you feel inspired, move. The second fear creeps and override it with force. That's how you stay sharp. That's how you stay alive. That's how you win. Every day you wait, your edge dulls. Every moment you delay, the fire inside dims. You've got to fan those flames, stoke them with action, feed them with motion. The world belongs to those who act, not those who wait. The throne is taken by the fast, not the patient. Fortune doesn't favor the cautious. It favors the bold. So take the shot, make the call, launch the project, burn the bridges, move like there's no plan B. Because that's where the power comes from. That's where the magic is. In the moment you leap without a net, in the moment you choose movement over fear, that's the real test. That's the real freedom. And that's what separates the dead from the living. Move now, move fast, because if you don't, you will die slow. This life doesn't wait for the weak. It doesn't reward hesitation. It punishes it. The world isn't kind to those who move slow. It tramples them. You have one shot, one timeline, one reality, and every second you delay is another nail in the coffin of your potential. You weren't born to crawl. You were born to conquer. So stop hesitating. Stop overthinking. Stop playing small. Start acting like everything you want is already yours, and it's up to you to move fast enough to claim it. You either become unstoppable or you get run over by those who are. Now move.